you're really lucky and you're right on the right day, you can clamber up in the ice and pick up the object exactly where it melted out.
This type of artifact, this is going to be more than 1,000 years old.
In a hidden corner of North America, archaeologists made an incredible find that could rewrite human history. Buried under ice and sediment, they discovered a bustling Ice Age settlement filled with shelters, tools, and artifacts from thousands of years ago. Even more surprising, this suggests humans may have spread across the continent much earlier than previously believed. Join us as we delve into the secrets of a lost Ice Age civilization that may hold the key to rewriting North America's ancient past. Number 20. Snak Worm. In 2007, a strange event caught the attention of Derek Sykes, an insect expert at the University of Alaska. A resident handed him a bag filled with what appeared to be a writhing mass of worms, but they were behaving in a way no one had seen before. These worms, when grouped, moved as one unit, resembling a snake, hence earning the name Snak Worms. This bizarre occurrence left scientists baffled for over a decade, as these creatures had never been documented by science. Recently, after years of careful research and collaboration with experts from around the world, the mystery of the snake worms was finally solved. These unusual organisms were identified as a new species of gnat, now named Sierra serpens. What makes them especially unique is their behavior in the larval stage. During this phase, the larvae move in large columns, crawling over each other's backs, creating the appearance of a snake. As for why they exhibit this behavior, scientists are still working on a definitive answer. However, there are a few interesting theories. One possibility is that by mimicking the appearance of a snake, these gnat larvae might scare off potential predators. Another theory suggests that this collective movement could help protect their delicate bodies from drying out while crossing dry terrain. Number 19. King Polar Bear. The polar bear holds the title of the largest land carnivore, and these massive, powerful creatures roam the Arctic, hunting across the frozen landscape for their next meal. While polar bears are already considered giants, some standing up to an astonishing 9 feet tall on their hind legs and 5 feet at the shoulder, weighing as much as 1,600 pounds. There are rumors of an even larger bear, often referred to as the king polar bear. This bear, thought to be bigger than any we've encountered, has long been dismissed as a myth. However, recent discoveries are shedding new light on this legendary creature. Researchers have unearthed a massive skull in the remote regions of Alaska, which could be evidence of this Arctic behemoth. The skull, one of the largest ever found, measures over 40 centimeters from nose to back and features large, formidable teeth. Its structure is also distinct from modern polar bears, being longer and narrower at the back. This has sparked lively debates among scientists about whether this discovery represents a new subspecies or perhaps an entirely different type of bear. Interestingly, this finding ties into local Inuit legends that speak of king bears, large, lean bears believed by some to be a different species or subspecies. Number 18. Mastadon fossils. In 2021, a young boy named Julian Gagnon embarked on an unforgettable adventure while hiking with his family at the Dinosaur Hill Nature Preserve. It was Labor Day, and Julian was enjoying the day outdoors when he noticed a strangely shaped rock on the ground. Initially, he thought it was just another unusual rock, but as he took a closer look, he realized he had stumbled upon something truly extraordinary. Julian had discovered a 12,000-year-old fossil, the molar of a juvenile mastodon. Excited about their find, Julian and his family reached out to experts at the University of Michigan Museum of Paleontology, who confirmed that this was indeed a rare and significant discovery. This ancient fossil had remained untouched for over 12,000 years before Julian happened to spot it. Mastodons are enormous creatures, often mistaken for woolly mammoths, that roamed across North America until about 10,000 years ago. Though they looked similar to modern elephants, mastodons were uniquely adapted to survive in the harsh, frigid conditions of the Ice Age. While mastodon fossils are occasionally unearthed in Michigan, they remain rare and valuable finds that excite paleontologists. Julian's discovery was no exception. In a generous gesture, Julian decided to donate the molar to the museum, sparking a renewed interest in Michigan's paleontological history and contributing to the study of these fascinating prehistoric giants. Number 17. The Nampa figurine. Deep within the rugged terrain of Idaho, hidden beneath layers of earth and ancient rock, an astonishing discovery was made: the Nampa figurine. This small, doll-like artifact was unearthed in 1889 during what seemed like a routine task of digging a well. But what turned this mundane activity into a historical enigma was not just the figurine's unusual appearance, but where it was found, buried nearly 300 feet below the surface. At such a depth, it defies all logic that any human could have placed it there, especially considering the geological estimates suggesting that the surrounding soil had been undisturbed for the past 2 million years. As the drill churned through the dense layers of clay, fragments of a peculiar material began to surface. Among these was the strange figurine, damaged but shaped by human hands. The mystery only deepened when experts realized that the ground encasing the figurine was sealed beneath a layer of volcanic basalt, which had remained untouched for millennia. The discovery of the Nampa figurine poses a fascinating puzzle that challenges the conventional understanding of human history and prehistoric timelines. Its existence beckons people to question what people know about the past and invites humans to explore the unexplored depths of our ancient origins. Number 16. The Ice Age settlement. Around 14,000 years ago, North America was gripped by an ice age, with glaciers covering much of the land. Scientists believe this was when the first humans arrived, crossing a land bridge between present-day Alaska and eastern Russia, and then moving south. However, a discovery in northwestern Canada has shaken that theory. The Heiltsuk people, who live along the west coast of Canada, have long claimed that a specific strip of land didn't freeze during the Ice Age. They believe their ancestors found refuge there. Interested by this, archaeologists began investigating Tricket Island in British Columbia, collaborating with local First Nations, the University of Victoria, and the Hawkeye Institute. The team dug through layers of soil and discovered a thin layer of ancient fossil soil called Paleosol. Inside it, they found remnants of a hearth, including tiny pieces of charcoal. When these fragments were carbon dated, they confirmed Heiltsuk's oral history, revealing that the settlement had existed around 14,000 years ago. The archaeological site was richer than expected. Alongside the charcoal, they found fish hooks, tools, and hunting spears for marine mammals, as well as a hand drill likely used to start fires. This discovery predates the Great Pyramids of Egypt and the Roman Empire, placing it in a time when mammoths still roamed the earth. Number 15. America's Stonehenge. America's Stonehenge, located on a sprawling 30-acre site in Salem, is an extraordinary collection of stone structures, artificial caves, and enormous boulders. Although it shares a name with the renowned Stonehenge in England, the two sites are quite different in appearance and character. This discrepancy is just one of the many fascinating elements that make America's Stonehenge captivating. The origins and intended purpose of this mystery site sparked heated discussions among historians and archaeologists. Much of what visitors see today has been shaped by the work of a former owner, William Goodwin. He was convinced that the stone structures were remnants of a 7th century Irish monk settlement. Driven by this belief, Goodwin undertook extensive restoration efforts, altering anything he believed was misplaced. Unfortunately, his modifications have made it challenging to ascertain the true age of the structures or their original functions. Over the years, various theories have surfaced regarding the site's history, but none have withstood rigorous examination. One of the most widely accepted theories suggests that Native Americans built the site approximately 2,500 years ago for religious ceremonies. Despite the ongoing debates and controversies surrounding its history, America's Stonehenge continues to enchant and intrigue visitors. Number 14. A Soviet sailor's message. While out searching for firewood, Tyler Ivanov, a teacher's aide in Alaska, stumbled upon a rare and historic treasure. Just 20 miles west of his home in Shishmaref, A small town on a tiny island in northwestern Alaska, Tyler was used to knowing everything about his surroundings. But what he found that day was something beyond his wildest expectations. A 50-year-old letter sealed inside an old wine bottle. When Tyler opened the bottle, he was in disbelief. Inside was a message from Anatoly Botsanenko, who had once served as captain of the Soviet vessel Sulak. Dated June 20th, 1969, the letter was filled with warm greetings and well wishes from the ship's crew, written with the hope that one day someone might find it. Amazingly, the bottle had traveled an estimated 2,000 miles across the treacherous Pacific Ocean over half a century. Even more surprising, the letter inside was perfectly preserved, still dry and carrying a faint scent of alcohol. Tyler shared his incredible discovery on social media, and the post quickly went viral. This led to a heartwarming reunion, facilitated by Russian media, with Anatoly Botsanenko, now 86 years old. Botsanenko was deeply moved and emotional as he reconnected with this forgotten piece of his youthful adventure, never imagining that his message would one day be found. Number 13. Croc Cousin. In 1989, a remarkable fossil was uncovered by archaeologists, but it wasn't until 2024 that scientists finally unraveled the mysteries behind these ancient remains. What they found was truly astonishing. A prehistoric cousin of today's crocodiles that could be described as a living tank, which roamed the Earth around 215 million years ago. This newly identified species was uncovered from fossils found in Texas. This species belongs to a fascinating group known as etosaurs, which were heavily armored reptiles that inhabited the planet long before dinosaurs took over. Imagine these creatures as the tanks of their time, armed with thick, bony plates and fierce spikes. They were like walking fortresses, well equipped to fend off any predators that dared to attack. The unique arrangement of their osteoderms, which is the scientific term for their protective armor plates, suggests that these reptiles developed their formidable defenses independently, adapting to their environments over time. Unlike today's crocodiles, which are strict carnivores, etosaurs had a much more varied diet. These sturdy creatures were primarily omnivores, meaning they dined on both plants and animals, showcasing their flexibility and survival. Number 12. Lake Winnipesaukee stone eggs. The mysterious stone egg was found near Lake Winnipesaukee in New England in 1872. Even after more than a century of investigation, its origin and purpose remain a profound mystery. The egg is made from a type of rock that isn't found naturally in the region, adding to its puzzling nature. Even more baffling are the symbols etched onto its surface, which don't match any known markings from Native American tribes in the area. The craftsmanship is remarkable, showcasing sophisticated drilling and polishing techniques on solid granite. Some believe it to be a cleverly made hoax, but others think it could be evidence of an ancient civilization in America possessing advanced stoneworking skills. Equally interesting are the mysterious petroglyphs discovered at Winnemucca Lake in Nevada. These carvings, estimated to be around 14,800 years old, are the oldest known in the United States. Etched into the dried lake bed, the symbols range from simple lines and crosses to intricate depictions of nature. Despite being studied extensively, the true meaning of these carvings and the identity of the people who created them remain unknown. Their age suggests they predate all other known rock carvings in America, hinting at a long-lost culture that left behind a legacy people have yet to fully understand. Number 11. Sedona's Vortexes. Across different cultures, vortexes are believed to be unique locations on Earth where mysterious energy flows either into or out of the ground. These energy fields are thought to have a range of effects on those who encounter them, from physical sensations to profound emotional or spiritual experiences. Today, vortex sites are considered some of the most mysterious and captivating places in the United States. Long before Europeans set foot in North America, many Native American tribes recognized the power of these special spots. They revered these areas as sacred, building their communities and rituals around them, believing them to be powerful sources of energy. Many of these locations are now recognized as vortex sites, celebrated for their natural and spiritual significance. One of the most famous areas for these energy centers is Sedona, Arizona. The vortexes in Sedona are believed to be extraordinary places where Earth's energy is especially potent and accessible. Visitors to these sites often claim that they experience a sense of renewal and healing, both physically and emotionally. It's said that the energy from these vortexes helps people release long-held emotional wounds and move on from past traumas. Sedona has also become a hub for those seeking spiritual healing. Number 10. Ruins of Casa Grande. Nestled within the stunning landscapes of the Sonoran Desert in Arizona lie the intriguing ruins of Casa Grande. At the heart of this archaeological treasure stands the Casa Grande, an impressive 4-story structure crafted from a natural concrete known as caliche. This unique building material, formed from sedimentary rock, was abundant in the area and offered durability in the harsh desert environment. Casa Grande is believed to have been constructed in the early 13th century, making it a remarkable example of pre-Columbian architecture and engineering. The structure's design reflects the ingenuity of the Hohokam people, who inhabited the region and developed complex irrigation systems to support agriculture in an otherwise arid landscape. Casa Grande is also notable for its distinctive windows and openings, which some researchers suggest were intentionally aligned with celestial bodies, hinting at its possible role as an astronomical observatory. Despite extensive study and exploration since its discovery in the 19th century, the true purpose of Casa Grande remains shrouded in mystery. Some scholars propose that it may have served as an astronomical observatory, allowing its inhabitants to observe celestial events and track seasonal changes. Alternatively, it could have functioned as a vibrant social gathering spot for trade and communication, fostering connections among the diverse local communities. Number 9. General Sherman. The General Sherman tree is the largest single-stem tree on Earth by volume, and it's truly a natural wonder. This giant sequoia isn't just any tree, it has a name and a remarkable presence. Standing at an incredible 275 feet tall, it nearly matches the height of the Statue of Liberty from base to torch. The tree's trunk is an astonishing 36 feet in diameter, so wide that it would take a group of people holding hands to fully encircle it. To reach such an immense size, General Sherman is estimated to be between 2,300 and 2,700 years old, meaning it has been growing since long before many of the world's major historical events. These sequoias thrive in the Sierra Nevada mountains of California, where the unique climate provides perfect conditions for them to flourish. General Sherman isn't just a tree, it's a living monument, embodying centuries of California history, including eras as distant as the Civil War. Located just an hour-and-a-half drive from Fresno, visiting this giant in person is an awe-inspiring experience. Hopefully, these majestic trees will continue to stand tall for generations to come. Number 8. Humongous fungus. In Crystal Creek, Michigan, there is a truly astonishing fungus known as Armillaria gallica, first discovered in the late 1980s. At that time, this enormous organism was thought to be the largest living thing on Earth. Scientists believed it weighed about 110 tons and was around 1,500 years old. However, more recent studies have revealed something even more surprising. This fungus is far larger than initially thought. It spans an incredible 90 acres and is now estimated to weigh approximately 400,000 kilograms. What's even more amazing is its age. It is believed to be around 2,500 years old, meaning it began growing around 500 BC. This fungus is a type of honey mushroom, which primarily spreads underground through its mycelium, a network of thread-like structures that act like the fungus's roots. Above ground, it's much less noticeable and only shows itself when it fruits, producing mushrooms that are visible to the naked eye. Armillaria gallica is also a parasitic fungus, meaning it feeds on the trees in the forest, helping to break them down as part of the natural decomposition process. Despite its destructive nature, it plays a key role in the ecosystem by recycling nutrients back into the soil, contributing to the health and renewal of the forest. Number 7. $100,000 door stopper. A family experienced the surprise of a lifetime when they discovered that the 22-pound rock they had been using as a doorstop for over 30 years was a valuable treasure. This incredible revelation took place in Michigan when a man unknowingly inherited the rock after purchasing a farm. The previous owner casually mentioned that the heavy rock, which had been holding a door open since the 1930s, was a meteorite. When it first crashed to Earth, it left a small crater and was still warm when found. For decades, the new owner paid little attention to the rock until one day, he heard stories of people making good money by selling meteorites. This sparked his curiosity, and he decided to have the rock analyzed. To his amazement, the results showed that the rock was made of 88.5% iron and 11.5% nickel. This simple doorstop was now worth a potential $100,000. The once overlooked rock was identified as the Edmore meteorite. In a generous gesture, the anonymous man who brought it for analysis agreed to donate 10% of the eventual sale to Central Michigan University for their help in identifying this cosmic treasure. Number 6. The carved bell. In 1944, a young 10-year-old boy named Newton Anderson made an astonishing discovery that has left scientists puzzled to this day. While exploring Upshur County, West Virginia, Newton stumbled upon a curious object embedded in a lump of coal, an intricately carved brass bell with an iron clapper. What makes this finding truly mind-boggling is that the coal encasing the bell dates back to the Carboniferous period, around 300 million years ago. The bell, now known as the Upshur County Bell, has become a topic of intense debate, particularly among fundamentalist Christians who believe it is an antediluvian artifact, something created before the biblical flood described in Genesis. This theory suggests that advanced civilizations may have existed long before known history. The Institute for Creation Research took a keen interest in this artifact and had it examined at the University of Oklahoma. According to their analysis, the bell's unique blend of metals is unlike anything typically found in modern times, adding to the enigma surrounding its origins. Although many doubters question the authenticity of the story, Newton Anderson, now an adult, has stood by his account. He even took a polygraph test, which seemed to support his version of events. However, some argue that there could be bias in the findings promoted by ICR. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. In the frozen wilderness of North America, a team of archaeologists set out on a journey to uncover secrets buried beneath the earth. They arrived at a remote island, shrouded in mystery and untouched by time. As they began to dig, they didn't expect to stumble upon something that would change everything they knew about history. The researchers carefully scraped away layers of dirt and rock until they reached a thin layer of dark, ancient soil. When they sifted through it, their eyes widened with excitement. Tiny pieces of charcoal lay scattered, hinting at a long-forgotten fire. Eager to learn more, they sent the charcoal for testing. The results shocked everyone. The settlement dated back thousands of years, far older than anyone had imagined. As the team continued digging, they found more astonishing relics. Sharp fishhooks carved from bone, stone tools, and even long spears designed for hunting sea creatures. These weren't just any tools. They revealed the incredible skills of a people who lived by the icy waters, surviving in a harsh, unforgiving land. Among the discoveries was a small hand drill, likely used to spark flames and keep their hearths burning. With each artifact they uncovered, the story of these ancient people became clearer. This settlement wasn't just a temporary camp. It was a thriving community that might rewrite the entire history of human settlement in North America. Could this lost civilization have crossed into the continent far earlier than people ever believed? Let us have your opinions in the comment below. Number 5. Bighorn Medicine Wheel. Nestled in the serene landscapes of Wyoming, the Medicine Wheel stands as one of the most fascinating and mysterious stone structures scattered throughout North America. What makes this particular structure truly unique is its massive size, spanning an astonishing 80 feet in diameter. Despite its prominence, the origins of this ancient wheel remain an enigma. Though it is mentioned in the oral histories of various tribes living in the Bighorn Mountains, no one truly knows who built it or what its original purpose was. Interestingly, the Crow people, who are among the oldest inhabitants of the region, have their own intriguing story. When they arrived in the area, they claimed that the wheel was already standing, hinting that it predates even their long history in the mountains. For generations, the local community has revered the medicine wheel as a sacred site, believing it holds deep spiritual significance. Adding to its mystery, the design of the medicine wheel is more than just a random collection of stones. Some of its spokes are perfectly aligned with the points of sunrise and the rising positions of certain stars, suggesting that it may have been used as a type of observatory by its ancient builders. This alignment indicates that the structure could have played a crucial role in tracking celestial events, serving both as a spiritual and astronomical tool for those who constructed it. Number 4. Porcelain Gallbladder. In 1935, the Mississippi State Lunatic Asylum closed its doors for good, and after that, the cemetery where many of its patients were buried was all but forgotten. Over the years, the area became overgrown with plants and trees, and the grave markers slowly eroded, making it difficult to tell whose final resting place was whose. For decades, the cemetery lay abandoned, with thousands of graves, some marked and some unmarked, completely neglected and hidden beneath nature's shroud. But in 2012, something unexpected happened. The University of Mississippi Medical Center planned to expand its campus, and they decided to use part of that old cemetery land for the project. During construction, workers stumbled upon the long-lost graves. It was like uncovering a buried treasure trove of history, full of surprises and bizarre discoveries. As they carefully excavated the graves, they unearthed all sorts of unusual items. But one discovery stood out as particularly strange: a gallbladder that seemed to be made out of porcelain. Typically, when people suffer severe gallbladder issues, the organ can harden and become brittle, almost like porcelain. But cases like this are incredibly rare. This poor woman, whose gallbladder had turned to porcelain-like material, must have experienced immense suffering during her time at the asylum. The Mississippi State Lunatic Asylum itself had a long history, operating from 1855 until its closure in 1935. Number 3. Methuselah. In California's White Mountains, there stands a remarkable tree named Methuselah, the oldest known living organism in the state. This Great Basin bristlecone pine has been alive for an astounding 4,853 years. To put that in perspective, it was already several centuries old when the ancient Egyptians were constructing the pyramids. The idea that this tree predates one of history's greatest civilizations is mind-blowing. Methuselah thrives in an incredibly harsh environment, perched at the upper edge of the tree line where the conditions are unforgiving. Despite freezing temperatures, poor soil, and fierce winds, this tree has continued to grow and survive for millennia. While scientists are still uncertain exactly how Methuselah has managed to live for so long, many believe that its longevity comes from its unique ability to adapt to its surroundings. The tree draws nutrients from the limestone and carbonate rocks beneath it, and has branches perfectly shaped to resist the relentless winds of the mountains. Although researchers celebrate its impressive age, they are careful to keep its exact location a closely guarded secret to protect it from potential harm. If the location were made public, it could attract unwanted attention that might lead to the tree's destruction. The rings of Methuselah also serve as valuable historical records, providing researchers with important data about climate changes over the centuries. Number 2. Extinct clam. For years, a unique family of tiny, translucent clams was believed to be extinct, until a surprising discovery on November 2018. While searching for sea slugs in tide pools near a beach in Santa Barbara, California, marine ecologist Jeff Goddard stumbled upon a peculiar creature in the shallow water. It turned out to be a pair of small, see-through clams, each no more than 10 millimeters long. Initially taken aback, Goddard soon realized he was looking at a clam species that had long been considered extinct. To confirm his astonishing find, Goddard snapped several photos and sought the expertise of Paul Valentich Scott, a curator at the Santa Barbara Museum of Natural History. Like Goddard, Scott was baffled by these mysterious mollusks. To determine whether they truly belonged to the presumed extinct species, Goddard returned to the beach for a more thorough investigation. However, the clams proved elusive. It took him 9 more visits to the same location before he finally managed to collect a specimen for detailed analysis. The breakthrough came when Goddard and Scott compared the newly collected specimen to a fossilized clam dating back to the 1930s. This comparison confirmed that the tiny clam was indeed the long-lost Samoa cookie, a species last identified from fossil records that date back between 28,000 and 36,000 years ago in the Baldwin Hills area of Los Angeles. Number 1. Poverty Point. Poverty Point is an ancient site that resembles a massive curved collection of hills, almost like a giant letter C from above. This intriguing place was constructed by people who lived between 1,700 and 1,100 BC, which means it's over 3,000 years old. Situated about 15 miles away from the Mississippi River, Poverty Point has captivated the curiosity of historians and archaeologists for generations. People have been fascinated by it since the 19th century, and interest peaked even more in the 1950s. What makes Poverty Point so remarkable is that it was built by a community of hunters and gatherers, a surprising feat for such a large-scale construction. It's the largest site of earthworks in North America from that era. The sheer size and complexity of the mounds make it an architectural wonder, especially considering the people who built it didn't rely on farming, unlike other ancient civilizations. Despite decades of study, the true purpose of Poverty Point remains shrouded in mystery. Some researchers believe it served as a residential area, while others think it might have been a spiritual site used for religious ceremonies or rituals. There's also a theory that it was a bustling trading hub, where goods and ideas were exchanged. Which of these discoveries do you find the most fascinating? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section below.